welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing another pick a card reading. This time we are doing it on your past life relationship and a relationship from your past life that is still affecting this life today. So go ahead and pick whichever pile you are most drawn to, and we will get into your reading. But just before we get started, if you would like a more in-depth reading on this topic or on any other topics, I do have an Etsy shop that is linked down below where we can do private readings. And also, this is a general reading, so take what resonates and don't take what doesn't. And let's go ahead and pick your piles and we'll get into the reading. Pile 1, so you guys chose this sticker. And then let's go ahead and get into the cards about your past life, who you were, what you were doing, why the relationship is still affecting you. So to represent you, the first card we pulled up was the Crow. The second card we pulled was Trust and Faith. And then the third card we pulled was Scribe and Writer. And then we pulled the Knight of Swords, or the King of Swords, I'm sorry. The Hierophant. And the 10 of Chalices. All right, and let's go ahead and get into what all of this means in context of you in your past life. So the Crow is the first card that we pulled for you to represent you in this lifetime, who you were, what you did, so in this past lifetime you're being represented by the Crow. So the Crow is somebody who is very spiritually strong, they're very creative, and they're very watchful. They're a symbol of magic. So in this lifetime you might have been drawn to the more supernatural, or you might have had a gift for seeing the unseen or knowing the unknown. So this is somebody that was probably very psychic or very strong and very clear. And then it says that you were a scribe or writer, so you were probably, and that trust or faith, so you were probably a writer in the context of faith. So, a religious writer. You were very in religion. I'm not saying this has to be like Christian religion. It could have been any religion. And then we have the King of Swords, the Hierophant, and the Chalices. So the Hierophant, again, shows to me that you were in some sort of religious thing. So the King of Swords really represents like structure and routine, intelligence, being rational, logical, power, authority, strength, manners. Somebody who's very detached, cool, very honest, someone with the ethic and morals. Another person who's like self-disciplined. They think with their head before their heart, very military, very legal. So to me this seems like somebody that was in your life that came in and they enacted those things. They were a very disciplined. So this card represents usually a mature male or a mature masculine person with more masculine energy, who is very logical and is a very deep thinker. They do well in structured environments. Can be very like clinical and stern. Can also be a bully or a tyrant. So I feel, the feeling I'm getting from this is that there was a probably male in your life that was very stern with you and very rigid, and really was trying to control you, and probably through religion or through these faith, whatever faith you were in, they were trying to control you. And this might have been somebody that you were supposed to marry. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting, is that this is somebody that you were supposed to marry, and they were very stern and very rigid and trying to control you. And then we have the Hierophant. So this represents, tradition, traditional institutions, traditional values, conventional conformity, marriage, commitment, religion, beliefs, knowledge, and sharing. So to me, this means that with this person, this Knight of Swords or King of Swords that was in your life, you probably met them through religion, whatever religion you were, and you guys got married because of that. And then, and you did not like him, you were not happy with him. He was controlling and you didn't like that. But you were stuck in this, because the world wanted you to conform, even though you're not a conformer, because you're the Crow. But the world wanted you to conform, so you had to do what you had to do. And then you have the Ten of Chalices. So this usually represents like family, and long-term relationships, marriage, stability, security, harmony, domestic bliss, children. So you did have a family with this person. So this just shows to me even more, this was a marriage. You were married to this person, and you guys had a marriage and a family, and you guys made a life together. This is not the person that is going to be in the rest of this reading, the person that you have the spiritual connection with. This is just a person, this defined your life. You were, you were married. You were probably, I'm thinking, a mother. What I'm getting from this is that this was your husband who was very stern and rigid. You got married because of these traditional values and faith, and I'm seeing this as like a father figure. So your father definitely had something to do with it. And then this is you with the children, and not very happy, because she does not look happy in this card. This isn't what you wanted. Maybe you wanted to be a writer, but because of your faith, you had to do what you had to do. Now let's go into your person, so the other person that is coming up for you. Let's go into their cards. So they are coming up as the Swan. For them, we also pulled Celtic, and we pulled Knighthood. So this is taking place probably in Celtic times or a Celtic area. So that would be places like Ireland, Scotland, Wales. To me, this seems not very during like pagan times. This seems much more like after the Catholic Church might have taken over. That is the vibe I'm getting. Let's get into your person's life, what was happening in their life. And we've got the Hanged Man. We have the Knight of Pentacles. And we have the Ace of Chalices. All right, so let's kind of get into who this person was and what this all means. So the swan is somebody who is like effortlessly creative. They're very sensitive and they're very elegant. They have heightened creativity. They're very graceful and very fluid when it comes to like writing or creating or reflecting. They have a healing energy. So this was somebody who was very creative, very healing, and very kind of soft and gentle towards you. And they were probably a knight or they worked in some type of armed forces. Let's kind of get into what their cards mean and what their life is being represented by. So the first card is the Hanged Man. So in their life, this person felt very trapped. They felt very confined and they felt very limited. They felt a lot of uncertainty and a lot of lack of direction. The situation that they were in this lifetime, they were not happy with. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. So this is somebody, I think this represents them. These both represent them. They feel very stuck. In this life, they felt very stuck. They didn't have any options. But this also represents them. They were a very like patient, practical person. They were very loyal and responsible. They were also very stubborn and ambitious. They were a hard worker. They wanted to finish what they started. They loved nature. And they're a very kind-hearted soul, but they're just very hardworking and they know what they want and they wanted to go get it. And I think because what they wanted at the end of the day was you, and because they couldn't go get it because you were in a marriage, they felt very lost and very stuck because they are so ambitious and they know what they want and they typically wanted to get what they want, but they felt stuck. And then we have the Ace of Chalices, and I think represents you. This is what they saw with you. With you, because I think this does represent you. What they saw with you is a new beginning. They saw a new relationship. They saw a new romance. They saw a chance at love and happiness. Also, I am getting a lot of pregnancy from this. So there might have been a relationship where there was some infidelity going on. And I'm seeing you have children over here, but also I'm seeing one singular child over here. So you might have had a child out of wedlock with this person, and they thought, oh, this is a new beginning, like we're going to start a life together, but then you had to hide it from this because you couldn't do that. You had responsibilities. So let's go ahead and we're going to get into what kind of brings you guys together, or what the connection was. I think I already am getting a gist of what the connection was, but we'll go in and we will see what the connection was just so that we can really tie it together. So the first cards that I pulled, again, were Baby, Leaving or Traveling, and Wisdom. And then we also pulled the Ace of Swords in reverse, the Empress card, and the Lovers card. All right, so kind of initially what I'm getting from this is that, yes, everything that this has already said is absolutely right. I think that this was during the time of, I forget what it's called, but when the Catholic Church came into Ireland and Scotland and tried to take over and get rid of paganism. I think that is when you guys initially met. I don't think that that's where you were from. I think you came with the Catholic Church because of your husband, or because of religious reasons, you were involved with the church. So you came with the Catholic Church, and that is where you met this person, because this person was in a Celtic area. So that could be Scotland, Ireland, or Wales. That is where you met this person, is traveling for some religious reason. And you brought with you wisdom. You were trying to teach them something. And then you ended up falling in love. And I do think that you guys conceived a child together. Let's get into the cards, because we're definitely getting lovers vibes. I don't think that this was a marriage or a long-term relationship. I think this was a short-lived, very fast, very, very intense relationship. And the Empress, it's another mother card. They saw you as somebody who could be their wife and the mother of their children. Yeah, so this card is all about failure. They feel like because this relationship didn't work out and you guys couldn't be together, this was, your spirit feels like this life was a failure. This person, I think, is a soulmate. And because you guys couldn't fully be together in this lifetime, it feels like this lifetime was a failure. There was a lack of communication in this lifetime. There was a lot of frustration and a lot of injustice. And a lot of making very wrong decisions. And then we have the Empress, which again is a pregnancy and a fertility card, a motherhood card, a very creative, beautiful, feminine nature, and a lot of harmony, and a mother. So again, I do think you had a baby with this person out of wedlock, and you were already married. You were already a mother, but you fell in love very quickly, and you became, you had a child with this person. And then we have the Lovers as well. So yeah, this is a soulmate connection. I do see that this was a soulmate connection, and this probably still is a soulmate connection or a twin flame connection, and that's why you guys were so drawn to each other, but you couldn't be together. This is kind of like kindred spirits. A lot of romance and a lot of desire and a lot of shared values and a very strong sexual connection you had with this person that made you guys come together in this weird, hard time, and you guys conceived a child, and you probably had to keep that child secret from your husband. You had to keep that child secret from your husband because it was not his at all. It was somebody else's child. And that's kind of like the vibe that I'm getting, is that there was this that is why this lifetime is probably still affecting you, is because there was this very deep secret and this deep love with this person that you had to keep secret and that you couldn't keep alive, and that you had to keep such a hard topic from your husband, and you were in a loveless marriage that you didn't want to be in because of your responsibilities. And let's get into, I pulled a card to kind of see what the overall lesson was for this lifetime that you're still learning and that you still need to take care of in this lifetime, and why this lifetime is still affecting you. And the card I pulled is health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. Yeah, so this is telling you, like, in this lifetime, you need to focus on your health. I don't think in a actual, like, health way. I think you need to focus on your mental health. You know, think about what you want and do what you want, because that's something that you didn't learn in this lifetime. That's something there was a failure here. You were supposed to learn to put yourself first, not the wants of others. Put yourself first and your wants and what you want. And I think that you still have to learn that in this lifetime, and that's why this lifetime came up, is you need to put yourself first and your mental health first and what you want first. You need to be your number one priority. All right, guys, I hope that was enlightening or helpful. Please like and subscribe or leave a comment down below. Sorry. I really, really appreciate it. All right, guys, thank you so much. Bye. Hey, Pile 2, welcome to your reading. You guys picked this sticker. Go ahead and put that right there. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the cards that I've pulled for you. Now, the cards I pulled to represent you in your past life was I pulled the Turtle card. Represents your energy. We also pulled the Mother card and the Forgiveness card. And I pulled the Queen of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, and the 8 of Wands. What I'm picking up from this is that you are an ancient soul. You've been around for a really long time. You've lived a lot of lives, and this is just one of the many lives that you've lived. You're very grounded, and you're very trusting, and you're at home with yourself, or at least you were in this lifetime. You have a very strong relationship with the earth and the elements. You are very grounded and connected. You could have been a great writer or a great storyteller. You had a lot of life experiences. You were very peaceful, and you were very adventurous, and you were very productive. You were also a mother. And I think what you were learning in this life is forgiveness. You were learning how to forgive. And we also have the Queen of Pentacles, which I do think represents you. You were somebody who was very mature. You were very grounded. You were a social butterfly, and you were generous and loyal. You really wanted to be successful and have financial independence. You were a homemaker. You were down to earth, and you were organized and sensible. You were very practical. You were a very no-nonsense person. You were also very kind and welcoming and nurturing. And you were a wonderful mother. And then we are getting the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, which to me shows that you experienced a lot of unexpected change, and you experienced a lot of financial disaster and a lot of huge losses when it came to finances, a lot of ups and downs. You had a very rocky foundation. You might have lost everything. There might have also been a lot of domestic disputes in your life, a lot of fighting over money, and a lot of instability. And then you have the 8 of Wands, which shows me that despite all of this and despite having all these issues with money, what you really wanted to do is you wanted to travel. You wanted freedom. Despite all this, you moved forward from it, and you thought on your feet, and you took sudden actions, and you worked really hard, and it paid off, and you found solutions, and you stayed positive. And you were kind of, I'm getting the vibe that you were like swept off your feet by somebody, or you had all these things that were very hard for you, and then something came along and kind of swept you off your feet and took you away from all of it. Now let's get into your person that you're connected to from this lifetime, and who they were. We're getting the whale to represent them. We are also getting communal living. So this person lived in a communal living situation with a lot of other people. We're also getting vows. So this person took vows in this lifetime. That might have been in a marriage, religious vows, a vow within their community. We're also getting the Two of Cups. We've got the Ace of Wands. And we've got the Six of Pentacles. So this shows me right off the bat that your relationship with this person is a soulmate connection. You guys are connected spiritually, emotionally. This could even be a twin flame connection. Yeah, this person brought with them, new beginnings. They brought good news. They brought a creative spark into your life. They helped you find a new passion, and they helped you find your enthusiasm. They helped you accept challenges. They had a lot of potential, and they had a lot of talent, and they helped you grow. And they gave you a new way of life. So this person was the Ace of Wands for you, and they're the reason the Eight of Wands came to be. They're the reason that there was this momentum shift in your life. They came in and they brought exciting new things. They took you out of your boring, very grounded Pentacles life, and they were like, let me show you fun. We also have the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, so this represents like generosity and charity, donations, community, assistance and support, kindness. So this person came in and, they're a very generous person. They probably supported this community that they lived in, and they took vows to do so, and they were very helpful, and they liked to help people. I'm getting kind of like a Robin Hood vibe. And so they came in and they saw that, like, you might have been struggling. I feel like you were a mother, but I don't feel like the father was in the picture at all. I do feel like that is probably what took the money away, is I'm feeling that you had children, you were a mother. I'm getting kind of the vibe that the father may have died, and then you guys kind of fell into this financial ruin, and then this exciting new person came in, and they really helped you out of it because they were generous, and they're very charitable, and they wanted to help you, but they didn't just, give you, a fish so that you could eat for a day. They taught you how to fish. They really helped you grow so that you could become your full potential. And I forgot to tell you what the whale is, what the whale represents. Yeah, so this is a very, the whale is a very deep person. They're very peaceful, and again, they have very ancient wisdom. This is an old soul. You guys are both very, very old, ancient souls, and I think you guys have had many, many lives together. They have a lot of emotional health and stability. They're not afraid of they weren't afraid of their emotional expression, or they weren't afraid of like going through difficult terrain. They felt like they could overcome any challenge in their lives, and that any experience enriches their soul. They had a lot of stability and a lot of strength and a lot of depth. They were very compassionate, and they were very good at communication. They were very calm, and they were very steady, and they were very deeply compassionate, which also I think can show by how charitable they were to the people around them in their community. Let's kind of get into more of the cards, and we'll see what your guys' connection was. I already think I have a vibe, but we'll go ahead and see what we pulled for what your connection really was. So the first card that we pulled was phobias, pulled food and hunger, and we pulled Egypt. We also pulled the 8 of Swords, the Page of Swords, and Justice in reverse. So kind of what I'm getting from this straight off the bat is that this probably took place in Egypt at some period of time. I don't know an exact period of time, but placement wise, this was probably in Egypt. I think you were going through this period where you lost your support system, you lost your husband, you lost the father of your children, and because of that, you didn't know how to make money. It was probably something you'd never had to do before, and that was one of your biggest fears, because now you're alone and you have all these people to take care of, and they're starving, and there's nothing you can do, and it scared you. And then this person, they came into your life, and it's a soulmate connection, and they loved you. I'm not seeing any actual romance, but they loved your spirit, they loved your soul, they knew your soul. So they came in and they wanted to help you. So they helped you so that you could become your full potential of being the Queen of Pentacles. And let's get into some of the cards that came up for you guys. So yeah, we have the 8 of Swords. So you felt very trapped, you felt very restricted, you were very backed in a corner. You felt paralyzed by fear and anxiety. There was a lot of pressure on you and a lot of hopelessness and helplessness, and you felt powerless. Yeah, again, this is just coming in with these things. You were very scared. You felt very lost and very trapped. And then the Page of Swords comes in. So yeah, this is somebody who I think this person was younger than you. And they came in and they were very, very, they had a lot of mental agility. They were very curious and quick-witted, and they were very good at communication. And they wanted to fight injustice. I think that's one of the big things, is that they saw this happening at that time, and because they were all about community and they made a vow to their community that they were going to help with any issues that people were having. They didn't want people to go hungry. So they came in and they really helped you because they wanted to, but this was a soulmate connection. They probably loved you. It was more than just their vows. They probably loved you and you loved them, but I don't think a relationship ever actually came to be. I just think there was a very strong friendship. And then we have the Justice card in reverse. Yeah, so I think in this lifetime there was a lot of injustice and a lot of corruption and lack of accountability. There was a lot of unfairness. This life felt very unfair to you. And this person wanted to stop that and kind of help you through it. And I think that they did, to the best of their ability. And that's why you have such a strong connection with this person. And the life lesson that you are meant to still be learning from this lifetime is honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. So this is telling you that in this lifetime, you needed to learn to be honest. I think mainly, you needed to be honest with yourself. You needed help, and you needed to be honest with yourself about how strong you were, because I don't think you knew how strong you were. You need to know in your heart when the right time is to be honest with others and with yourself. And this lifetime was trying to teach you that being yourself will draw in people and circumstances that you need most to learn. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope it was enlightening, and I hope it gave you something. So please, if you could like and subscribe, and then leave a comment down below on what you guys thought. I really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Bye. let's go ahead and jump right into your reading about your past life relationship that is still affecting you today. You guys picked this sticker, Jinju Itu. All right. Now let's get into the first cards that I pulled, which are meant to represent you in this past life. The card we pulled for you is the Nightingale. That is the energy that surrounds you in this lifetime. We also got Orphan. We also got Greek or Roman. So this could have taken place in Greece or in Rome, somewhere around there. We also pulled for you Temperance in reverse. And we pulled the Queen of Cups or Queen of Chalices. And we pulled the Nine of Swords in reverse. All right, now let's get into kind of what this all means to me. We'll get into the Nightingale first. So the Nightingale is somebody who's very fearless. They're very good at communication, and you might have been very good at like poetry, and you might have been good at writing or composing. Very good at taking your feelings and taking your emotions and putting them into a work of art. And you use that to heal your wounds. You spoke freely with kindness. You're a very kind and very emotional soul, and you used those emotions to create something and kind of heal others. I do think that you were an orphan. You didn't know your parents. You grew up without them. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting, and those were kind of, I'm thinking, probably the first wounds. So with the Temperance card in reverse, I'm kind of getting that your life felt very unbalanced. There was a lot of clashing and a lot of discord and antagonism and a lot of recklessness and hastiness with decision-making and things that happened. You might have overindulged in certain things. And then we also have the Queen of Cups, which I do think that this is meant to represent you, who you were. You were very loving, and you were very warm, and you were very sensitive, and you did everything with kindness. Again, that's the Nightingale energy. You really wanted romance and happiness, and you would have been a loyal and faithful lover. You were very shy and very easily wounded. You were a dreamer, and you were very empathetic. You were very creative, and you were a good listener and a good counselor, and you were very caring and supportive. And then we have the Nine of Swords. So this whole life was about you recovering. You were letting go of negative things that had happened to you, probably in your childhood. You were learning to face life and kind of open up, and you were accepting help. You had a lot of fears, and you had a lot of self-loathing. You didn't love who you were, even though you were a beautiful person. You were afraid to love yourself. And you had to learn to deal with that, and learn to accept that, and learn to truly accept you, because you were a beautiful person. But you thought, I think it comes from the feeling of abandonment as a child, that you had a lot of wounds, and you might have fallen into some sort of addiction. I'm getting big addiction vibes. You might have fallen into some sort of addiction, even with the way that she looks in here. Just her face. I'm getting big addiction vibes. So, I mean, trigger warning, but that's kind of what I'm seeing. and you were learning to deal with it and trying to cope with it because you were so empathic and you were so easily hurt. You were so emotional that I think this really probably hurt you a lot. And I don't think that that's where the hurt ended at all. I'm getting like sad and sniffly. Okay. It's okay. All right, so let's get into the other person in your life and their energy. We have the crow to represent them. We also have leaving or traveling. We also have vows. We also have the 7 of chalices. We have the Page of Swords in reverse. And we have the 6 of Wands. So, what I'm initially picking up is, of course, the crow is somebody who is extremely perceptive. There's somebody who is in tune with, it's interesting that it's both air energy, so a lot of communication. This is somebody who's very magical, psychic, has psychic abilities. They might not have ever tapped into it, but they have it. I think you guys probably met because this person traveled a lot. I do feel like this person was never in one place for very long. That's just kind of the vibe I'm getting. So this person probably traveled a lot, and that's when you met them. And they took some sort of vows within their life. I think the vows that they took probably separated you guys. I don't think you guys were ever actually together or ever actually able to be together. I do think you guys knew each other and had a strong connection, but I'm not getting the sense that there was ever a relationship. And I think it's because they made some kind of vow. Then we have the 9 of Cups, or it's not the 9, is it? 7, sorry. So this person in their lives, they had a lot of options. They had a lot of opportunities. They were able to pick and choose what they wanted. And they were very, very imaginative and kind of in the clouds. They were very in their own head. I think that this person had in the way of a lot of, I think, romantic, because this usually is emotion. This person had a lot of romantic partners. They had a lot of options. They had a lot of people to choose from. And I think it's because they traveled so much. This person was so mysterious. I'm getting a mysterious vibe. This person was so mysterious. They come into town. I'm getting kind of like gypsy vibes, like somebody who travels into town with a caravan and, you know, or something like that. And they kind of, you know, they travel in, and medicine man-y, kind of. I'm not getting, you know, I'm getting kind of like I travel in with my wagon and I sell you stuff vibes. So this person had a lot of options, but I am getting some deceitfulness from them, especially with this in reverse. Very immature, very deceitful. And you were mature and they were not. So I'm getting kind of like medicine man. Like the vibe I'm getting right now is, if you've ever seen like Sweeney Todd, it's like that guy that comes into town and like sells that magic elixir, Sacha Baron Cohen's character. Yeah, but they had a lot of options, and they, I think, had a lot of I'm getting male from this, so I think they had a lot of women after them, a lot of suitors. And then I think this is them. It's the Page of Swords in reverse, a very immature man. Yeah, so this is somebody who's like a player. They play mind games. They kind of had their head in the clouds. They were kind of cold and sarcastic and cynical. Very abrasive. Kind of a like delinquent, and they didn't have a lot of education, but they were definitely a player. They played the game. I do think that they were kind of like a shyster. They had these psychic abilities, but they used them in a negative way to make money or to get women, and that's why they traveled so much. And then we have the Six of Wands. So yeah, they were very, they got a lot of praise for what they did. They were good at what they did. They were good at, you know, scamming people and conning people. I'm getting big con man vibes. They were good at it. They were kind of like a little celebrity. They had fans. And which I'm getting again, they had a lot of admirers. They had a lot of suitors. They had fans, and they were very confident and very prideful. All right, so let's get into kind of what your connection is, because I'm curious how you guys connect. As you can see, I'm rushing through the cards because I'm so curious as to how you guys met. Oh my gosh, because this is so interesting. I think this is, I mean, no hate to the other piles, but I think this is probably the most interesting one so far. Okay, so the cards we pulled for your guys' connection is an unrequited love, karmic relationship, and forgiveness. And then we also pulled the Seven of Wands in reverse. We pulled the Ten of Cups in reverse. And we pulled the Eight of Cups. Okay. So right off the bat, the vibe that I'm getting is that you and this person might have connected at one point. And I think possibly there was a sexual relationship, and it was turbulent. And this person, I think, kind of was not very nice to you. They kind of used you, and they used your empathy and how sweet you were. They used that, and they did not, and you loved them. You loved them, and they did not love you back. And you had to learn to let go of that and kind of forgive them. That's just how they were, and that they weren't going to love you, and you couldn't change that. Let's get into what the cards are saying. Yeah. So with the Seven of Wands in reverse, I think, you know, you felt defeated by this person. You kind of gave in to this person against your better judgment, and then they did exactly what you thought they were going to do, and then you felt defeated. And then we have the Ten of Cups in reverse. So yeah, in this relationship, there was, there was no lack of security. There was no lack of stability. There was a lot of conflict and disharmony. It was a very rocky relationship. This person did not want marriage, and they did not want children with you, which I think you did. That's what you wanted, because you never had that, and this person did not want that, because they did not truly, love you the way you loved them. They neglected you and how loving you were. They made the Eight of Cups. And at the end of the day, you had to forgive that this person was never going to love you the way that you wanted to be loved. And, you know, you had to walk away and you had to let go. And you went on your own path of self-discovery and introspection. You withdrawed from this relationship. Because you had a lot of emotional strength. So yeah, you had a lot of emotional strength. So you were able to forgive this person and walk away. All right, now let's go ahead and we'll get into kind of what this relationship or this life was really trying to teach you. And this life was teaching you, and is still teaching you. The reason why it's coming up today is because it's teaching you to have patience. I accept that everything happens in a divine order. So this lifetime is coming up today because you still are on the journey to learn that, you know, things happen and it's really not about the destination. You know, it's not about where am I going, kind of like, you know, it's about, it doesn't matter what happens along the way, even if it's hard, like this one did, or like this one was. You learn so much from it and you grow so much from it. And your spirit grew so much from this, and it's still growing. And spirit wants you to know that you learned from this lifetime that this will only make you stronger, because you know what you did in this lifetime? You turned your back on this person that treated you horribly, and you grew stronger. You grew into a stronger person. And spirit wants you to see this so that you can understand that hardships happen so that you can grow stronger and so that you can learn and develop. All right, guys, I hope that this was helpful and enlightening to you. Please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And if you could leave a comment on what you guys thought, I would really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.